can you share what did you discover about storytelling?
We talked and discussed that each story, if you're doing a storytelling, has to evoke emotions, and it has to have a meaning, an inspiration. And usually when people do tell their stories, are related to something really, really important to them, or something that basically changed their lives.
So bringing up really the personal experience in a storytelling is really important. The other thing was that, as you talked about the components of the drama or of the story, so there was the beginning, then there was some kind of struggle. After that, there was a turning point with some kind of magician or the person who gave the inspiration or whatever. Then it changed, and then it ended with the impact of not only his life but also on the whole, let's say, world. So there is also the line, the structure of the story, which is really important. And then we talked about emotions and about empathy.
This important thing in the story is that we can apply a universal meaning of the story to ourselves, to our lives.
My experience with storytelling started 5 years ago when I learned the formal storytelling methodology. That methodology is actually based on using the power of storytelling and empathic listening in sales conversations. And when for the first time I've heard about the power of that method, I was shocked. I was like, this is the missing link in building connection between people.
When I teaching kids, I'm using kind of storytelling because I talk about trips, what happened with when I was somewhere, because I teach geography. So if I have lessons about, for example, landscapes of Mediterranean countries, I can say about what I saw in Croatia, in Italy, in Spain, tell the stories what happened to me there. Maybe not with many emotions, because there is no something bad or very good what happened to me, but sometimes it's better to understand the place for them than only what is in books or in the screen.
When you listen to a story, you can come to your own conclusions. How will I react if I identify with the hero? How will what do I think? And what is the lesson? How will I behave? And what will I learn from that? So when you're listening to a story, you're coming to your own conclusion about the situation. Then when we are telling a story to students, to school children, they really come to their conclusion by themselves, and they feel pride. They are happy that they learned that, so they identify more because they think, okay, I come up to this idea myself. That's why they identify and learn much more effectively.
I just wanted to say that in the practice of a teacher and working with kids, I think that the colleagues will agree. We come across a lot of stories and the histories of the kids. So I personally don't use any method, any tools, but what is important, and I wanted to say, is to encourage the kids and also other adults or other people to tell the story, to say it. So this support is very important, and to express their emotions and for others to listen to make an attentive audience. So I just wanted to say that we try, and I encourage the kids to tell the story, though they are not now instructed how to build the story, how to do it. So maybe it would be great to share the outcome of this project with them, to learn them how to make the long story shorter and how to present what they want to say.
That can be important for teachers who want to progress, evolve, advance, and get promoted, to acquire that new skill. So that's one point. And Ivona was sharing her personal experience when she was conducting a class for early stage school kids. And she was telling a story, and she immediately realized that these kids were all, eyes on her, and they were listening to her with attention. And then when she asked some questions, like these key questions about the story, they got even more engaged, and they wanted to, continue. While, listening to just a book is boring.
The storytelling can be applied everywhere practically. So it depends on the context, As you said before, you've used it with companies, and I'm sure this is a fun way of working with the companies, to introduce the storytelling into this corporate world. It's rather unusual, but I think it's really refreshing. Of course, in the education, it can be used also on several occasions, on several notes, especially also in the adult education, because adults have more experience to produce a really good and valuable story. So I'm sure that there will be several occasions where we will be able to use the whole concept.
It's for sure a more interesting way of learning. I can imagine in some of the fields could be much more complicated to find a way how to do it, because for example in math or in this kind of subjects it could be kind of complicated.
Storytelling is not among popular courses for teachers yet. It's not well known. So probably the first stage is promotion, dissemination, creating awareness, creating the need, and creating a training in structure, so that as many teachers can learn that skill and tools. I want to thank you all for this great insights, and I'm very positive about what we can create, really to one hand empower teachers so that they feel more supported in this current environment, which is changing, and it's hard because of a lot of remote teaching and homeschooling. It's also difficult for teachers to kind of reconnect through that technical environment, and also for kids. So thank you so much, and I'm happy that we are starting this journey today.